Alright, welcome guys to my, what is this? My first official stream, because week 0 last week was just a, it wasn't, I didn't really teach any grammar. So, let's move on, shall we? Oops, not that one, this one. I'm gonna try 2 different approaches. Some of the slides I prepared beforehand. But later on, I'm just gonna try to kind of wing it, because I find out that it takes me a lot of time to actually set up the slides. It's just like making it prettier and coming up with the transitions and whatnot. So anyway, welcome again to my Japanese grammar lessons. I'm gonna try to teach you guys the basics. Quick about me. My name is Rains. My handle in Fua is Rains is my fave. You could, what else? I learned Japanese way back, maybe 5 years ago. Took me about 1 to 2 years to get to competent level where I could actually start reading visual novels. Maybe after a year or after 6 months, I was able to start reading visual novels, and from then on, I keep learning. While I'm reading visual novels, I will learn grammar on the side. I downloaded a couple of textbooks. I bought a textbook, for example. This textbook, The Japanese Sentence Patterns, helped a lot. I did all of the patterns in this book, and that helped me a lot in reading the VNs. And from then on, it's just a slow grind. You just keep reading. Alright, so I did take, let me go back to about me. I did take 2 of the Japanese language exam, the JLPT, and fortunately I passed both of them. I barely passed both of the exams that I took. So alright, that's it. Okay, about this course, if you've seen my video last week, it's just gonna be a rehash of what I said, but I'm planning to, this is not 100% sure yet, I'm planning to follow this book like the exact order that it teaches. I disagree with some of the order it teaches. Like, it teaches you the direct object particle wo very, very late. If I was doing it with my order, I will teach that right away. But this is only a grammar lesson. I don't know. I'm gonna experiment around with how I show you guys the example sentences. I think I might just keep the vocabulary mostly in English and just put the grammar points in Japanese just so it stands out, because sometimes I feel like vocabulary might distract you guys if you don't know, if you don't know the vocabulary and you're having trouble reading the Japanese word itself. So we'll do that. Again, this is a very, very good resource in Fua Novel. Please use it. It has resources on how to hook the visual novel to a text hooker. It gives you different choices with dictionary. It gives you like a web browser translator. There's a lot of different sites that teaches you vocab, flashcard system, grammar, etc., etc. So please use it. Alright, so I'm gonna teach you, let's go start teaching you grammar then. Alright, so this Japanese has 2 main ways of speech patterns. There's the casual speech pattern and there's the formal or more neutral speech pattern. Okay, and this is all present in verbs. You'll see it in verbs, adjectives. For example, a same word, say like the adjective big, for example, right? There's a casual version of the same word and there's a formal version of the same word. So oki is the casual version, and then it'll be oki desu for the formal version. Now, if, let's say the verb to eat, the casual version is just taberu, which is the plain form, and the formal version is tabemasu. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we go through this. And so the very first thing I'm going to teach is this declaration. If you want to say, you can't just say a single noun. You have to, if you want to say that, oh, it's an apple, or he's a teacher, or he is a policeman, that kind of thing, you'll have to use this da or des. And this comes at the very end of the sentence, or right after the noun. Okay, so da is the casual form, des is the more polite and neutral form. You'll probably hear that a lot. Desu, desu. Okay, you could just read this. Yep, so let's look at some examples real quick. Simple, right? Sensei des would be a teacher. Gakusei da would be a student. You just put it after the noun. Ringo desu, kumada, genki desu. So genki desu is an adjective, so you also use it for adjectives. You could say genki da. It just means the same exact thing except different levels of politeness, alright? Da being the casual one, des being the more formal one. Alright, let's move on to particles. Particles always act on the word that comes before them. So you see these lines, these blue lines here. I just want to use that to show you that it acts the word before them. So for example, the wa, the topic marker. If you see a wa, then the word before them is the topic. The topic being what the sentence is talking about. For example, if you say watashi, which is, you know, I, watashi wa, then you are talking about yourself. Speaking of me, blah, 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 blah. So what comes after that is the one that you know, what you are. So say, watashi wa gakusei da. So gakusei is a student. So you're just saying, I am a what? I am a student. And again, you have to, if you want to declare something like that, you use the either da or des. Okay. So kare wa sensei desu. He is a teacher. Blah blah blah. Watashi wa blah blah blah. Okay. And go with the particle ga. So, oh, again, this wa, by the way, is pronounced as wa, even though it's type, you know, it's ha, it's ha. If it's used as a particle, it's pronounced as wa. Alright. Now ga is, Taikim uses the term identifier particle. I think I like it. I understand what he means by it. Pretty much ga identifies the word before them. For example, watashi ga, so watashi becomes the what was it? How do I explain this? So if you think of ga, the emphasis is more on what comes after the particle, or what the subject is. So for example, gakusei da, which is student, if you use a ga, you're identifying who the student is. So the student is watashi ga student. I am the student, as opposed to you know my brother. Say I am the student and not my brother, that kind of thing. So you're identifying who the student is. So for example, who is the teacher? You use the ga to identify, oh, he is the teacher. Kare ga sensei desu. Okay. It does translate the same in English, but the priorities are different. So wa, again, particle wa talks about the subject, talks about the topic. You know, speaking of me, I am a student. But ga focuses more on who the student is. The student is me. You know, it identifies who that student or teacher or whatever the thing is. Okay. Yep. So if you have a question, who or what, then you'll most likely use ga, since you're identifying who that is. All right. So let's do some practice. Yep. And this is just a difference in nuance. Okay. And I'll probably do my examples like this, because I don't expect you guys to learn vocabulary as fast as I will teach grammar. So don't mind if I mix English words with the Japanese. Over time, I will start making everything Japanese, but for now, I'll go easy on the examples. Okay. All right. So that's the very first lesson. Second lesson, let's do particle no. You should think of it as this. It links nouns. Particle no has to do with nouns. All right. So the most specifics to the right, extra details come before it. So let's do some example. So if you see this, Nihongo no sensei. Oops. Sensei is the one that is to the right. So it's the most to the right of the particle. And so it's the most specific ones. So you say, so the noun is specific towards teacher. Like, so what about the teacher? Teacher is specific, and the extra detail comes to the left of that particle. So what kind of teacher is he? He is a Japanese teacher. So, or teacher of Japan, or teacher of Japanese rather. Okay, so it goes like this. Okay, Nihon no gakko. So gakko is school. So what about the school? It's a school in Japan. So it'll be a Japanese school. All right. Kyo no bangohan is bangohan is the more specific one. So you can say dinner of today, but of course, who would say that in English? So you say today's dinner. Okay. Now you see how it's like today's dinner, where it's like a possessive kind of thing. There's the apostrophe s. So a particle no can act as a possessive particle, expressing ownership. So in this case, Takeshi-san wa watashi no bossu desu. So here's the particle wa. So the particle is about Takeshi. Takeshi. Speaking of Takeshi, what about Takeshi? Takeshi is watashi no bossu, my boss. In this case, the more specific one is boss, right? So what about boss? My boss. He is my boss. Takeshi is my boss. Okay. So watashi no pen is my pen. Or you could say pen of mine. That's the safe option. Or like here, anata no bag, anata no kaban, which is bag, will be like bag of anata or something. If you don't know what anata means, but it's pretty much your bag. All right. Sorry, got distracted. Okay, practice, blah blah blah. Let's do this. So the topic gets the wa. So in this case, the very first example would be Miss Tanaka, right? Is the topic. So it would be Tanaka-san. It would be wa, particle wa, music teacher. Yes. Now, to do the music teacher, you have to do the no. All right. So it'll be, which one is the more specific one? The more specific one is teacher. So in this case, it's gonna be to the right. So it's gonna be music, no teacher, right? No teacher. Yes. Or ongaku no sensei desu. Simple as that, right? Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna do a second practice. Let's just do this. Nagisa is Tomoya's waifu. So there's a possessive here. So obviously it's Nagisawa, because Nagisa is the topic, right? You're speaking about Nagisa-san wa. This is ownership. So whoever owns it goes to the left side. So it'd be Tomoya no. Ooh, I can't type. Waifu desu. Or da. I don't know. Let's just use this. Simple as that. Let's do one more. The girl is Natsumi-rin. Okay, girl wa Natsumi-rin desu. Kyosuke no imoto desu. Alright, is everything clear? I hope everything is clear. So that's particle wa, particle ga, and particle no. Let's move on. This book covers kore, sore, are right away. Which just means this, that, and that. So there's two that. So this is easy. It's right by the speaker. You can touch it. Let's say this is my pen. When you say this is my pen, it is within my reach, the reach of my arm. Sore, so that's kore. Kore is this. It starts with ko. Sore is something that is far away from the speaker, but is close to the one you're talking to. Okay? I guess you could just read this. Is that fine? Think of are as like you're pointing at something far away and you're like, look at that. Arewa, korewa. So that can become the topic. In this case, kore becomes the topic because you have the particle wa right after that. So kore wa pen desu. So you're talking about kore, this. This right here is a pen. Alright? I'll give you guys some time to read through this. So sore wa watashi no, do is a particle, sho desu. Yusho is a dictionary. Ne here is just isn't it, kinda. Kore wa inu desu. Aww, kawaii. Alright. Now if you are modifying something, you're modifying another noun. So you say this pen, or that book, or that bank, that woman, then you will have kono, sono, and ano. So again, before it's r, right? So kore, sore, are. This one is kono, sono, ano. See, kono pen wa watashi no desu. So no particle here is the possessive particle. So it is mine. You could say pen here as well, but I mean that's redundant, you know. Kono pen wa watashi no pen desu. It's technically what it's saying, but we're eliminating the pen because it's redundant. Sono kaban wa anata no desu. That bag is yours. That bag, very close to you, very close to the person you're speaking to when you use sono. Ano kuruma wa chisai desu. Okay. Alright, let's do practice. Kore wa Tanaka no ie desu. This is possessive, so this is Tanaka's house. And kore would be like this. So this is Tanaka's house. Yeah. I'll let you guys practice on your own. Question particle ka. It's very easy. Turns a sentence into what? Turns sentence into a what? Look at this. To a question. I don't even read my own slides. Turns sentence into a question, and it's you will usually put at the very end. Okay. Kono pen wa, this pen is the topic. Anata no desu ka, it's just asking, is this pen yours? It almost acts to me as a question mark that you put at the very end. Usually you'll see ka at the very end. Sometimes you'll see it at the middle of the sentence. But the one I'm teaching you is very basic, so it's just at the end of it. So you know, you just add it after the desu ka. Never put it after the casual particle. So see here, I said genki desu ka, but when you turn it into a casual thing, you don't use you don't use the particle at all. You just use genki. You have a certain you speak it with a certain, what is this, accent or intonation, genki, as opposed to genki desu ka. Alright, so that's particle ka. It's just question mark. Question words: who and what. Who is that person, or what is this pen, or what is this thing? Sorry. Yeah, it's placed after the topic wa forms the question phrase. Alright, so let's see some examples. So ano again is modifying a noun, in this case tower, and ano is over there, far from both the speaker and far from the person he or she is speaking to. So think of something like pointing. You're pointing at a tower. That tower. What is that tower? So here it's none, because you're talking about a thing. So what is that tower over there? Okay. Kono hako wa なんですか? Pretty straightforward, is it? I hope I'm kind of just gonna breeze through this. I hope you guys aren't confused. Is there anything what else can I explain here? It's pretty straightforward. 誰ですか? So here it's just some of the details are kind of implied. So let's say あの人. あの人 is that person. This kanji. So あの人は誰ですか? Who is that person? 誰ですか is just who is it? Practice. あの食べ物は何ですか? What is that food over there? その人は誰ですか? 人 is person. It's pronounced as hito. So I realize I'm pronouncing kanjis without telling you guys how it's pronounced. So this kanji is pronounced as hito, like that. Who is that person? Close to the speaker. No. Close to the one being kind of. I mean, not as close. Yeah, whatever. And this is sensei, okay? Sensei. Alright, and that's what? That's the 5th lesson. So I'm gonna do the 6th one. Yeah, I'll just put because honestly it takes me too much time to write all of this for some reason that I feel like I'm just gonna do it from scratch. So we'll do it from scratch. We'll do it live, as a certain Bill O'Reilly said before. The 6th topic is saying negative declaration. Declaration. So for example, how do you want to say he is not a police officer, or that person is not a music teacher? You know? So it's pretty much the negative of da or des. Okay? Negative of da or des. Negative of da or des. And there are 2 ways. So more formal one is de wa arimasen. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Or ja arimasen. They're both the same exact thing. Now this ja arimasen here is used in dialogue, while the other one is more used. Well, they're both used in dialogue, but ja is often used in dialogue. Oh, what the heck happened there? It's often used in dialogue. All right. Sorry, let me just load some music. I'm getting. All right, sorry, I'm back. And casual form. Wow, the underline is. Casual form is form. If I could type, is de wa nai, or de wa. Oh, oops, janai. You guessed it, janai. Okay. So arimasen, formal. Nai, informal. When we start talking about verbs, this is the same exact things as you're gonna use to distinguish between the formal negative and the casual negative. All right. So let's look at some examples. Okay. So if you want to say this is an apple, right? Then you just say kore wa apple desu, or apple. Yeah, desu or da. Use da. If you want to say this is not an apple, then what is it? Kore wa. Still kore wa, right? Apple. This, since da is casual, so you want to use casual form. You could either use janai. I'll use janai. I don't like dewanai, honestly. I don't think janai is used a lot more often, in my opinion. I think. at least from the VNs that I read. So this is casual song. All right, and he or I am not a Japanese teacher. How do you say that? Watashi wa teacher is more specific, so it will be Nihongo no sensei. Nihongo is Japanese. Just saying. No, sensei. Ja arimasen. Just like that. Easy, isn't it? Alright, so how long is my stream going? 25 minutes only? What? I did breeze through that. I'm only planning to do 6 topics, but whatever. How about let's do more. Let's do a 7th topic. Particle mole. It's in English. It means like also or to. So let's say I am a student. That guy is also a student. Okay. So let's see. Speaking of me, I am a student. So watashi wa, watashi wa student desu. The period. That guy, ano or sono. So use ano guy. In this case, ano guy mo. It replaces, so the particle replaces the wa. Okay, ano guy mo, student desu. Yep, since the mo kind of ties it together, ties the 2 sentences together. So when you say I am a student, he is also a student. So you don't have to repeat the topic, the topic particle wa. You could just use mo here. Sometimes you'll also see, you don't even see wa sometimes. Sometimes you just see mo here. Both sentences containing mo. Watashi mo student desu. Ano hito mo student desu. But usually there's a topic like that. Is that number 7? I think that's it. Okay. Let's use the book's example. My father is a doctor. Ren's father is also a doctor. So how do you do this? So there's 2 possessive, right? There's my father, you know, it's a possessive thing, and Ren's father, it's a possessive thing. So you're gonna use the particle no in this case. So my father would be like watashi no father, right? Doctor desu. Ren-san no father mo doctor desu. Now the second doctor, you could imply this. You could just remove this doctor. So you could see something like Ren-san, and even the father can be implied because you said it in the first. So you could see something Ren-san no mo desu, something like that, or Ren-san no father mo desu. All right. Let me look at this 8th topic to see if I can teach that really quick. What's the 8th topic? Can follow 2 different nouns in a sentence to indicate that the 2 nouns. Okay, we'll do that too. 8th topic is particle mo as well. The same exact thing in a single what was it, in a single statement. So it could follow 2 nouns. So say like Ren and I don't know, give me a name. I don't know, let's use nosebleed or something. No, let's use a proper name. Ren and who has a proper name? Maria. Maria are both my friends. How does that work? So you just be Ren san mo Maria mo. Is that what this? Let me see. Hold on. Yep. It becomes watashi no tomodachi desu. In this case, friends. Alright? Ren-san mo Maria-san mo watashi no tomodachi desu. You don't have to split it in two different sentences like what we have been doing in, you know, the previous one. Session 7, lesson 7 is like two different sentences here. In here, it's just two nouns, right? Saying tomodachi. So both are my friends. Yep, that's it. And this is the topic. Ren-san and Maria are the topic of the sentence. All right. Okay, so it's almost 30. Oh, it's 30 minutes already. So okay, thank you guys for tuning in. If you happen to watch, please, I am lost on how to approach the vocabulary. Is this okay where I put the vocabulary in English? I mean, because I feel like if I just write this whole sentence in just Japanese, it's gonna confuse a lot of people. Because I really just want to focus on the grammar. So what I can do is, like, say, put a word bank somewhere on like the top right area, put a word bank and do it that way, but it's so much hassle for me. And also, what do you guys think about do you guys prefer more of the, you know, me making the slides beforehand, or do you prefer something more you know, like more casual, like what I've been doing since, you know, since lesson 6, where I just did it on the spot and I wrote stuff on the spot rather than a pre-made sentence like you know, the previous 5 lessons. So please tell me. Again, you could Skype me or email me, or Fuwa Novel. Well, Skype and email is on my Fuwa Novel profile page, so you could hit me up from there. All right, I'm always on Skype, always. Whenever I'm online on the internet, I'm always on Skype. All right, so see you guys next week. I'm gonna do week 2. I'm gonna teach you about 6 to 8 grammar topics like what we did this week. All right, so please review all of these things that I taught you. Review them. So by next week, you'll be good. All right, save or don't save. Save. All right, see you guys next week. Bye bye.